Morning, Australia. Sunday here. To start with, continuing deposition allegations of organised crime and corruption in Australian and Queensland governments. I found that there's no separation between organised crime and the ALP government. We've been fighting crime and corruption in the Australian and Queensland government for the last 13.5 years. We've attempted to do everything through the courts, tell the truth, and we found that the judiciary are just corrupt. They slander, defame people to hold their kids for ransom, bankrupt people. Found that the family courts is designed to commit crimes against children and families. There's no democracy. It's in the family court, so the public have no idea what's going on. Section 121 of the Family Law Act is designed to defeat democracy, so the public doesn't know about the crime and corruption. You can't talk about it. You can't go through the public media. Mainstream media either been paid off or just covered up. Too hard basket. But what it is they're going for a one-party system, and that's what this voice referendum is all about. So they can just destroy the Commonwealth of Australia, it's an attack on the Constitution and the Commonwealth and democracy. Divide and conquer. So a number of years ago we tried to register our political party, Commonwealth of Australia Constitution Party. We have a Facebook page. It's direct democracy when all the members can air their issues and get votes on their issues, and all the number one issues go to the top, obviously, and our representatives. So we're looking for senators and representatives for the public at the moment. I'm going to attempt to register our party because we found the AEC were deliberately obstructing democracy and political liberty under Section 120, under Section 28 of the Crimes Act, I think it was, interfering with political liberty and duty. So AEC are very much in breach of the Crimes Act and the Electoral Act as well. Of course, I sent the allegations to Governor-General and got no response, sent it to the Queen's office to deliver it directly to the Governor-General, Peter Cosgrove. Peter Cosgrove subsequently resigned, but we've still got no registration of our party. Liberal and Labor Party had emergency sitting, and they changed the registration under the Electoral Act, so it makes it harder for minor parties to register. But we're looking for members now. You can see our Commonwealth of Australia Constitution Party website. We've got a membership there. We've got our constitution. Everything's there, ready to go. It's been sitting there for 10 years, nearly, probably. So what I was going to say, yeah, the AEC refusing to count all of our members. We have over 1,000 members, and they would only allow us to file 550 members in our list. And then they make us wait 3 months, and then they claim that 100 of our members are invalid. Wouldn't say which ones, and wouldn't take any more of our members. So it was fraudulent, and it was on they had it on a website called Guide to Registration of Political Parties. We got it, photos of it, screenshots of it, and it was a criminal act, fraudulent criminal act by the AEC to extinguish democracy in Australia. And that's where they're going for now. They're going for a one-party system. The new Crimes and Corruption Commission, I think it was Catherine Holmes, was Chief Justice in Queensland Supreme Court. She resigned there under allegations by me for crime and corruption. We're still fighting the Queensland Supreme Court for corruption, and we get no response from the Queensland Attorney Generals under the Labor Party. So we found the Labor Party, they don't represent the working class people, and they don't represent anybody but the organised crime. So they're representative of crime in Australia. They're going for a communist dictatorship state, and that's why we're having to do this and defend our democracy against the ALP and the LNP for that matter. Found the LNP are corrupt as well. But I'm getting no response from any of the political parties, so It's called, under the United States of American Revolution, it was one of the big issues, the first issues actually, is taxation without representation. So we have no representation in Parliament, let alone voice. And to note, the Aborigines do have a lot more representation and funding from the Commonwealth now. So this voice to Parliament is just a farce. It's just more litigation, and that's what they're using all the courts for, just litigation to bankrupt people. They've weaponised the courts, and we found the Australian Federal Police corrupt. They're using cyber warfare against us, or myself, and they claim to be independent of public responsibility, and that's the thing. They're just separating the government from the public. We have no representation. We have no. They have no political accountability. Public accountability for what they're doing. So this is probably my first edition of what I'm starting to call is Real Rebel News. We found that the Rebel News, the Canadian Rebel News, won't talk to us either. Apparently Abiy Yemeni, I saw on one of his YouTubes that he doesn't believe in supplying Ukraine with weapons. So basically what's happening is, under the Commonwealth means common well-being, so everybody's well-being is important to us, especially the Australian people, working class, because it's a working class that uphold the country. And personal tax, we shouldn't be paying personal tax whatsoever. That's one of the main policies, because it was brought in 1908, 1912, around there, to pay for World War I. But we're paying this personal tax and payroll tax. We can't manufacture in Australia, and we've got no representation. We actually pay tax, and we're being attacked by the government, these criminals. And so basically what's happening in the worldwide is just psychopathic behaviour by governments, narcissism, psychopathy. That's what's happening in Ukraine at the moment, so it's driving wars, always does. So what's a psychopath? Narcissistic psychopaths are a serious problem worldwide. It's about 1% of the population. So obviously Vladimir Putin's a narcissistic psychopath. So is Ted Bundy, both lawyers. But so is Anastasia Palaszczuk, a career politician and a lawyer. We get no response. She's not Labor, she doesn't represent working class people. We just found the crime and corruption under the ALP is just rampant. There's no separation between the ALP government and organised crime. So anyway, back to the story. About 1% of the population, narcissistic psychopaths. They tend to want to take over the world and run around, go on murder sprees. So Vladimir Putin's on a murder spree at the moment. It's all about power control. That's psychopaths are like 2-year-olds, because they don't develop a conscience at 2-year-old like normal people do. So 1% of the population, that makes about 70 million narcissistic psychopaths running around at the moment. And that's a serious issue. That's the real problem. So that gives us about 250,000 narcissistic psychopaths in Australia, and most call themselves the government. All right, so thanks for listening, people. Thanks to Australia. I owe the Commonwealth, I do. I work in the mines, electrician. I'm paying about 40% tax, and I'm under attack by the government that I'm paying taxes to. It's crazy, all right? But that's what narcissistic psychopaths are all about, narcissism, psychopathy at least. It's they call it a cluster B, dysfunctional type person. So there's cluster A, B, and C. So yeah, you've got a very dysfunctional government. You shouldn't be paying personal tax, payroll tax, because we need to start manufacturing in Australia. And the government's literally strangled manufacturing to death with their taxes in Australia. They've got tax on tax on tax. So we've got to stop taxing people for working. Go to work and pay tax. That's ridiculous. They should be taxing Chinese imports. We're being threatened by China, and they're putting tariffs on our grains and whatever, and we should be fully putting tariffs on everything imports from China. And if every other country follows suit, then China will soon be not a problem anymore. All right, thanks Australia. Just a quick video. First episode of Real Rebel News from Commonwealth of Australia Constitution Party. Check out our website, check out our Facebook page. Welcome everyone on board that's cares about Australia and the Commonwealth of Australia. And remember, Commonwealth means common well-being, and that's our number one. It's the most important word in existence. It's common well-being. It's the most political high ground you can get. All right, thank you.